Okay, hello again, friends. I did a warm up with my other guy, and I thought I'd just show you a comparison with the younger one, where I use the same leg yield exercise. And for the young guys, it's usually easier to go center line to rail. But of course, I just go back and forth between rail to center line and center line to rail. Doesn't matter the horse. But it can be easier for the young ones to suck it up to the rail. It's a little more intuitive. So again, this exercise is for warming the horse up, but also getting them sharp off the leg. And I have a whip with me with her because she's not as well educated as the other horse. Honestly, I should have had a whip with the other horse, but I did not. I forgot it. But it can be good to get them to use their butt a little better. Like there, she was really dragging with her butt, which means her back wasn't up. She wasn't engaging her abs at all. So the whip can just say, hey, hello, use your butt. And get them to use their body a little better instead of slouching. The couch potato, she's a little better this way. But I want a little more energy. She's like, hey man, I just got out here. Just give me a second. So I usually start at the walk. It's a good way to just say hello and talk about the weather. Get them focused on the job. And you can see how my left or inside rein is open. And then as I go to the left, my right rein is my new inside rein. It's going to be opened. So I wanted to move off the leg into the outside rein to X. And then as soon as we get done with the leg yield, I want him to push forward and straight. I don't want him to die at the end of the leg yield. The shoulders should be leading a little bit, but you don't want them to get too far ahead. You don't want the shoulder bulging. Just don't want it behind the hips. And then again, it's really important that you're letting them stretch down. They're not really in any collection in the warm-up. They're just stretching neck and back and getting the legs warmed up and limbering up. A little bit more response. There we go. I really just want more jump when I ask with my leg. You know, like here, I can have a little more jump. Yeah, there we go. Those little trots are good. And they start to use their hind leg a little better. And once I feel like they're a little more responsive, we can take it to trot. Don't mind my cold, sick sounds. Okay, and I'll do the same thing. We'll go center line to rail. And you can see how stiff she is, head up in the air. Oh, having a hard time getting her butt underneath of her. Again, she's the young one. She's off the track thoroughbred. Spent 2 or 3 years learning about the race life, which is completely different from the dressage and the jumping. So we have to undo some things, a lot of things really, And her conformation doesn't really help her either. She's a little downhill. She's heavy. She's almost like a quarter horse, which is not characteristic of thoroughbreds. But she can do all the things. Just gotta give her time. Good girl. It's actually warming up a little better than the older guy. Friday, who's a gray. I think he was just ignoring my leg, maybe a little bit tired from his cross country. She's actually doing really well. Got some energy in the turn. She's stretching. Oops, that's a little harder down this way. There we go. That was a little stiff. See if we can go down and do that again. We're going to go to H this time. There we go, that's a little better. She's having a hard time bending through her body and using her leg, hind leg. And she's just starting to get into some shoulder in and some haunches in. So throw some of that in there. She's not, haunches in is hard for a young horse. Try a little bit of haunches in. That's pretty good effort for her. And always encouraging them to stretch down, lengthen their stride, push from behind. That's what's going to help them build strength and balance, flexibility. That's a good stretch, Danny. Okay, she has a really hard time in canter because she is downhill, and she did have the racehorse life for a little bit, so let's see how she does with that same leg yield exercise. I'm a lot less particular with her because she is so green. So it's the effort that counts. You can see how hard it is for lift her shoulder, engage your hind end. That's pretty good effort. You have to have enough jump to keep going, but not too fast and flat. You know, she's really struggling to get her hind end underneath of her, so her head comes up, which is okay. You just have to keep asking for the leg yield, and hopefully they sit a little better, bend their hocks a little better. Just very excited about that. She hasn't done a whole lot at canter, so you're going to see what it looks like for a green horse to try. A couple steps of leg yield canter. Good girl. And like I said, it's not particular. I don't force her to get her head down. I don't need it to be perfect. Just try a couple steps, see if we can get a little better and a little better. That was actually really good. Getting out of the canter, that's hard for her. She just doesn't have the sit that Friday has. She gets heavy on her forehand. Let's see if we can try one more time. Heading towards the camera here. She says, "Oh, it's so hard." I try and stay pretty light on my seat for the younger ones. Stay off their back. There we go. Good girl. That's really good. Good girl. And you probably notice I have my inside rein against the neck a little bit more, kind of babying her. It's not ideal, but it's better to give them a good experience than to force it to be perfect. I just want them to start to get the idea, find the shape, build some confidence, build strength, and then eventually they'll figure it out. And a good girl. They'll be able to do it. Good girl.